Oh, hello, audience. Welcome to our first Leap Academy webinar. My name is Hanka. This is Samuel and Kristina. And we'll probably today talk about not a lot, but we'll try to tell like 5 things that you have to know about Leap Academy. And just feel free to ask any of the questions. We are open people, be honest. We are honest, everything will work well. And maybe just for the introduction, my name is Hanka, as I said, and I work for Leaf for almost 4 years now. I started as an admissions officer. I was like searching and looking for these amazing people sitting in here. And afterwards, I worked as a co-curricular coordinator. I was creating like the program for our afternoon programs. I hope that you enjoy it. If not, I'm sorry. And and now I'm preparing, or I'm part of the team that is preparing our new campus that will open in 2020. And why I'm here is just I love to talk, and I will have to probably stop because there are also people that I'd love to talk. Okay, what do you want to tell about yourself, Sam?
Okay, so I'm Sam. I'm attending the 2-year program at Leaf Academy. Before I used to go to a pretty good high school in Bratislava. I also lived 4.5 years in Australia, and I love guinea pigs. I have a cat. I like to eat, and sleeping is my favorite activity.
Yeah, future leader.
So in contrast with him, I'm attending the year 1. So the 4-year program, and I'm from the middle of Slovakia, and I came here probably somehow randomly, even though I don't believe that it's a random. But yeah.
No, it was not random. I remember it from info meeting.
Yes,
it was not random at all.
Because of info meeting.
Yeah. And then thank you very much. What we'll try to do today is that we'll try to make an introduction to 5 topics, which are most questions that you asked when we meet you on our info meetings or when we read your emails. But at the same time, really feel free to to write down the comments and ask us any question that is on your mind. Then we'll cover like 5 topics, if I'm right, and please help me if I'm not. But we'll talk about a little bit about English, about what we teach, about the community, about the scholarships, and also about the term E, which is the most exciting thing that I like the most at Leaf Academy. And let's start with English. As you can hear, my English is not as good. I'm not very good in grammar, but neither.
Same.
But who cares? Because well, we can communicate with each other, and it's funny. We're all Slovaks and we speak English. But what is amazing about Leaf Academy is that we all like speak English almost all the time, or we try so. Because we are international community and we are trying to be open to everyone that comes from abroad or from different countries, that our basic language is English. But I know that some of the people is sometimes afraid to come.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, true. What is your experience then?
So my experience is kind of different because I always loved English and I was learning English even outside of the school. So I was really excited about learning an environment which is in English. But some people are not that huge fan of English. But also for them, it's easier to be there because we have extra English classes. And the environment is it's everything in English. When you go everywhere, you just hear English all the time, and it kind of gets to your head. And after even a month, you can see a huge improvement.
Okay, what about you?
Well, I have a similar experience. I didn't personally have problems with English, but I have some classmates that had problems with English at the beginning, and sometimes resorted to Slovak, but they persevered and spoke more and more English, and now they're pretty much fluent and it's got way better. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that you're not alone when it comes to people not having perfect English. Like almost no one here has perfect English, and many people have, say, not optimal English. But that's the nice thing about Leaf, that you're here to learn and grow, and that in the end you'll get better and better.
You see, and we can talk to each other, feel the emotions, everything through the English. I would never say that it can work, but it works. Which is nice.
As long as we can understand each other, it's fine.
That's it. And you mentioned also ELL, like this English, extra classes that you take.
I actually don't.
You don't, but
yeah, but some of the people has. So during the first month, we did a test, and based on the test, they assigned us English classes or not. And after, you just go there in the afternoon and you improve your vocabulary and the whole communication.
Yeah, and also like when you're accepted or when you're enrolled in Leap Academy, we also give you some kind of a hints what to do, like till you come. And those hints can be, yeah, listen to more podcasts or watch more TV series without subtitles, you know, or go for a course like during the summer, like to get your English better. But we are here to support you in English. But it should not be like you should not be afraid of this one. Okay, then if do we have any kind of comments? Not yet, but feel free, okay? I don't want to like impose my ideas on you, but we will see. Okay, let's move on. I think that we have the second topic. Let's talk about what we do at Leap Academy. Like, we are educational institution. It means we are high school. We have to teach, you know, something. But at the same time, we're some kind of different, or we are trying to be different of what we do. We're trying to do like really 21st century education, project-based, a lot like based on like presenting your ideas, of critical thinking, and so on. And we have like, let's say like 4 core streams of our education. First is that we have STEM. It's science, technology, engineering, and math. Then we have Central European Studies, which is basically arts, history, culture, politics, and so on, focused on Central Europe. Then we have entrepreneurial leadership, which is very exciting and very different from other schools, but we'll talk about it a little later. And then we have character development. Is that how to understand yourself, how to understand values, morals, and how to be actually a better person in the society. Okay, what can you say about, for example, let's start with STEM. Okay, but I think that as a year 1 person, yeah, what do you do at STEM classes?
So like, for example, in science, it's more or less based on experiential learning. So we try to do it in a way that it will be useful even for the people who don't want to continue studying science. So we do stuff, we experiment, we experience, and after we do the theoretical calculation stuff, and it's much more interesting than it can, that people actually think that it can.
Okay, can you think about some kind of a class like that really stuck in your mind? And yeah, I really like that one.
So for example, now we were talking about force, and we were having many different balls, and we were just trying them on different surfaces, and then after we were some kind of figuring out how it is different with this ball and the other one, and then we did the calculations, and it was much more fun because you could actually see that it's not something that imaginary that you just calculate, but you can see that in real life it actually works, and there are the forces acting on the stuff. So
yeah. And okay, what about the Central European Studies? I think that we have like we sometimes go for experiential days, and it's also very exciting. And during the Central European Studies, you were at Budapest, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, what were you doing in Budapest?
So in Budapest, first we went to a monument park, a monument museum, which was a really cool place where all the Lenin and Stalin statues and other relics from the Soviet era were kept, so that those that weren't destroyed were kept there. And it was really cool because we were talking about the symbolism in the statues and monuments, and thinking why they were created that way, why did they look that way, and just go deeper. And we also covered this topic in our Central European seminar, where we wrote essays and discussions about the relevance of monuments, etc. So it's also connected to culture, history, and politics.
Good. And let's cover EL, because that's something that people do not understand what we're doing, you know, there. Just the basic idea is that it's entrepreneurial leadership, and we are just trying to lead students or teach students in how to be a good leader, but at the same time, like how to open your own business, how to open your own NGO, or just start any kind of a project, or just change the world somehow. Very easy, you know, how you resolve poverty. The Academy has an answer for that. But yeah, but what are projects that you are working on? You've been working on?
Yeah. So for example, as a year 1, we were trying to have it maybe like lighter during the first month. So when we were dealing with what we missed in the school, there was a lack of spaces we needed to use for example, studying or just chilling or collaboration space. So we were assigned a task to design the places. Before we learned about design thinking, about how to collaborate better, about the teamwork, and we were divided into teams. Then we did interviews for understanding, and then we observed how the places are used. And based on that, we tried to improve it as best as we could. And now the people are using it and they are satisfied. So, I mean, that's kind of the contribution we can make.
Yeah, you can see a result of your work.
Yes, every day.
You can feel it. Okay, what about you, Sam?
So me and a couple of my classmates work together to create websites for companies that are, let's say, low budget or aren't rich enough to afford the most expensive companies to make websites. And it was quite fun because you see the progress, you get paid, so like you also get the reward, but also fun to interact with the customers. And also I'm working into other projects on my own, which are, well, not my own, but they are still like work in progress. And one of them is about selling art, and the other one is about well-being of students.
Oh, that's nice. And what I found very interesting is that you have these mentors, like you have the whole like bunch of people helping you to think about your projects. But at the same time, what I like the most is that they just leave you to fail sometimes. You know, and it's not only that you were doing a good job, you know, but just learn from your mistakes, which is real life happens. Then we have what we can say also about entrepreneurial leadership is that when you come to the class, which every time when I come to the class, I don't feel like being in the class. It's just there's so much noise. Everyone's talking. You cannot find a teacher anywhere because they are sitting with the students, and it's just like totally different feel, from regular classes. And okay, what can you say about your teachers, for example?
I think like the most important thing, which is the relationship between teachers and students, because you're also spending time with them in the residence, and even during the classes, you learn with them. Then you just go out with them. And the thing is that, for example, when you're struggling or when you have some problem, you can easily come to them. They will help you, or you can even come to their room just to chat, talk. So it's much more deeper relationship as in public schools.
I totally agree. Like it's the relationship is way deeper because of the way more contact. And also the learning doesn't end in the classroom, that isn't that he just leaves and you don't see him for the next day, but you go out for lunch or go for a hike together so that you bond more.
Yeah, I can see that we are having comments, but I will cover one more topic and I will come back to the comments in like 3 minutes. It's just like a lot of people were asking me a question about when I was being an admissions officer about APs, like advanced placement diploma, because it's so like unusual in Slovakia, and I don't know if anywhere else where you live actually you can like write down where you're from, what are you doing right now, tell us your name, get to know each other, creating bonds. Back to the APs. Sometimes. Okay. Let's say APs. I'm sorry, you're not part of this conversation because you're not taking AP classes, but you can say
not yet.
Not yet, but it will come.
We will get to there.
But how you're taking AP classes? Can you tell us like very quickly what AP diploma is about and like what are upsides and downsides about AP class?
Sure. So, for example, the APs I'm taking are macro and microeconomics, comparative politics, and statistics. So that means from these subjects, I'll be studying for the whole year. At the end, I'll have a test. And based on how I do, I'll get a grade, also from the whole year and also from the test. And these then go into the transcript that is sent to uni. So it helps you to get to a good university because it's more valued than the standard, let's say, final exam from high school. So it offers more opportunities to go, for example, somewhere to other countries. And the downside is that it's more challenging than just a standard high school. It's a more rigorous course, but I think the opportunities that it gives you are worth it. It's a good trade-off.
Yeah, we also have to say about the APs, there's international diploma. It helps you mostly at the universities, maybe not in Slovakia. Slovak universities doesn't count it as a maturita or like final exam, but there is a still process how you can get around it. Either you take, I think, like Slovak maturita, and then you can apply, or you just go outside. It depends. Okay, but okay, APs. Like to know more about APs, I think you should go to the collegeboard.com, I believe, but when you put it like Google do it for you, like will do it for you. Just type college board or AP diploma, and you will find more information. Or you can find more information on our website, or just ask us for more information and info, or at the info meetings that we will just come to at the end, like when you can meet us in person, talk to us in person, and so on.
And also, if the AP format is unfamiliar to you, it's a good comparison is the IB format, which is similar in how highly valued it is.
Yeah, and we offer, how many courses we offer? What are the courses that you take for AP?
Well, there are a lot of them, but okay, so we have macroeconomics, we have comparative economics, then we have politics, chemistry, physics, calculus, statistics,
environmental science.
There's a lot of them. I think also psychology will be next year maybe, because a lot of people want it. So that's a nice thing, that if there's a subject that isn't here yet, but there is a lot of interest, then we will try to find a teacher so that you can have the AP.
Like, to be honest, we are like project in progress. That's like my honest answer. Like to the question is that, yeah, we just do a lot of stuff on our way, which you have to count with when you come, but it's super exciting to be part of the new project. Like at the same time, you have a lot of like, I think, accountability or how does school look like. It's not only on us as a faculty, but it's on us as a community. Like students, I said faculty, which is interesting because we have staff and faculty, and we put it together because we are all the same. That's very nice. Okay, I will read. Sorry, I have to come closer. Even though I have my glasses on, I cannot read. I'm maybe too old. Okay, I have a question here. Were you involved in a lot of outside of school activities before entering LEAF? Do you have to be involved in such activities to get to LEAF?
Maybe if I may answer. So the part about LEAF is that you don't have to be involved before. The main part is that they want to see a potential in you, so they will see that you are actually capable of being involved. But if you were involved before, it's an advantage that can help you, but it's not required. So,
and it also depends on activity. What does it mean to be like active? Because you can be active, you can open your own business, but at the same time, you can just help your classmates like on a regular basis. And that's also very valuable for us, that you're doing something above what is expected from you. And that's maybe like more important that, I just built it, like new NGO when I was 10. No, like we understand.
Things count as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But at the same time, if you haven't started your activities yet, now is your chance. There is so many things you can do outside of this world. You can, go and clean your forest, or go and clean the path in front of your school. Like, this is it, it's that this is your chance. If you are not applying this year and you still have like 2 years to come, this is your chance to grow. And maybe, like, why not? It's like, to be active, it's fun. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yes. I need like approval from you all the time. Okay. I will just check. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little lost. I'm not very good in this. Okay. I have a question here from Henrietta. What universities do absolvents of LA go to? If I want to attend Stanford business after high school, will LA help me with that? Do I have to do SAT tests, TOEFL, or do you already have them in curriculum? Wow, very complex question. Then start with the first question is that what universities do absolvents of LA go to? Like, we have now like first bunch of people that will apply, or they are applying and apply for universities now, and they are applying everywhere around the world. But do you know what are your classmates applying for in year 4?
Well, I know there's a lot of UK, US, Europe, some in Czechia. So like they apply to very many schools, and they could go to.
Yeah, but when we talk about the Stanford and business, definitely about the business. Like as I said, we have these EL classes that allows you to do a lot of like outside of school activities or inside of school activities, which can be focused on business. That is creating your CV or letter of like motivation can be full of things that you really like did in your life. I know that sometimes it's not like that, but you can like, I think it's like helping you to be better applicant for the universities and especially like Stanford maybe. And also for, I think that we have students from Harvard that were applying for Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, Oxford, like Dubai, also some
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. I think it's some of them also Japan or China. I'm not sure. Yeah, but like, but there's so many opportunities now in this world. It doesn't have to be Oxford and Harvard. Like there's so many good universities. And yeah, we have also university counseling right now. We are prototyping it this year, and I believe that we will just grow every year in this one.
Yeah, and since you choose the APs you take, you can take APs that you're interested in, and they will help you to the uni that you want to get. Since, for example, you want to go to economic university, then you'll probably take econ or other humanities, so that you can just take what you want to help you in your studies.
But to be honest, it's your job. You know, you have to start to think about it. We'll just help you to think about it. You know, maybe, and we'll just give you like opportunities to grow, and that's the most important. Okay, yeah.
Yes. No, I just agreed.
Okay. Do I have to do SAT tests, TOEFL, or do you already have them in curriculum? I just can say that TOEFL are not in curriculum. They're external exams that you nevertheless have to apply to external company. But for SATs, I think that we help students to prepare for them.
Yeah, we will have mock exams, and also like we have books and stuff to also help you to prepare for the SATs and ACTs. So like there's definitely support from the school. But whether you will have to or not have to do them depends on the university requirements, because they have different requirements. So
I think there are also ACTs or
ACTs and SATs. So
yeah, it depends on the university, but we'll try to help you as much as possible. I'm not sure if we have, but we'll skip to another topic and then we'll come back to comments. Maybe you will get new ideas about what you want to ask us. Okay. What is the third topic? Yeah, third one. I think it's term E. No, yeah, it's term E. You see, professional. Okay. Okay, let's go to term E. Term E, most exciting for Hannah than for me. I really love it. It's like for we study, we do a lot of stuff during the school year, but then like the term E comes, and it's like last 3 weeks of the school year when just like all the school stops and we go outside to the world and enjoy like really like by the experience like different things. We create these activities or let's say experiences. It's not created only by the staff and teachers and faculty, but it's also created by the students. This year we had this kind of a hackathon where everyone just come with their ideas. Then we selected some of those, and then you can join some of the experience. Last year, I can talk about last year experiences that we had. I was organizing the arts experience, and Samka can say something about the arts experience that we had together. Yeah.
Okay, so it was a 2-week experience in which we, in the first week, had very many workshops with different artists in different areas of art. For example, we danced, we sang, we composed music, we wrote poems, anything that in some way was attached to art. And it was really cool. We had many interesting workshops, and also we did improv, so we get a wide range of topics that we went through. And in the second week, we chose a focus area, each of us, that we'd like work on, which all culminated in a final party, right? Garden party, in which we presented what we did. And it was really cool because, you know, it was a cool party to hang out with people, and you also showed what you did in the past 2 weeks. A lot of fun.
Maybe also what's worth mentioning, it's the experiential weeks that are on like every semester. We have one of those, and every day is specifically for one part. For example, when we had STEM recently, we were just having we were dealing with statistics, so we were counting the cars and yes.
Whoa, funny. So many of them.
It was like really different. Everybody did what they were interested in, and it was in a way that you just went somewhere and you just observed and
Yeah, but what are the, because like now we are in the process now of creating these experiences like this year, but what kind of experience you will be part of, or what are you planning to be part of?
So I was really interested in the homeless
Yeah.
experience. But there are many of them.
Why you
Yeah.
were like, you can tell us something more about the homeless experience.
So basically, it's about maybe more understanding why the people are there and how they did get there, to also experience it on our in real life and to see what it's like to be, and maybe also work with the people like psychologists or maybe go deep into the psychology and other stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, the basic idea is to get out on the street, just to live on the street for a certain amount of time, trying to live without food for a certain amount of time. Why is Kristina a little like silent about it? Because it has to be with people about 18, and
Yes.
she just today we just announced it.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Then you have to select something else. What are the other experiences that we have? We have like we can go for a biofarm to work on a biofarm. We have this monastery experience, which is super interesting. That you will just like be without a phone and without like internet for 2 weeks, and you cannot even speak.
Yeah, meditation and trying to live that way that we are not really used to.
Yeah.
And there's also a trip around Europe. I think it's Brussels and some other big cities. Then there was
A Germany.
a Germany trip, Germany experience to learn better the different ways how to learn German and also, for example, cook German food to get a better sense of what it is to, or Austrian food to how to learn and speak German.
Yeah, and I think in the last year we also have like this huge hike to Santiago de Compostela. And the basic idea is that you are selecting something that maybe will challenge you a little bit, that you will get out of your comfort zone, and also part of it that you have to plan it somehow. It's not on me like as a leader, as a student leader, like to plan it, but it's on you. I'm sorry, you have to do it.
Students do have a lot of impact.
Yeah, a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Then we are free. We're just like lying there and doing nothing. No, it's not like that. Okay, we have some questions. I have to come closer. Okay. Are there quotas for students from different countries? Yes, we have quotas from different countries. We work on the ratio like 70% Slovaks, 30% internationals. Yeah, that's like how we, as a leaf, was created, like basically to help Central Europe and Slovakia to grow. But we really need like also diversity, and we are trying to get as much internationals as possible. I will maybe ask my colleague to type down like the numbers that we have and ratios that we have right now, because I'm not quite sure and I don't want to say something that is not right. But the numbers are not so high as we are now like accepting not too many students. We are a small school, but like in 2 years when we'll open the campus, like the numbers will radically go higher. Okay, good. Another question. Yes, but actually now I got hit from Hanka. Instead, from 80 students, we had like 10 students from other countries. Now 10 students.
No, overall
we have
10 countries.
You see? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hanka. Yeah, 10 countries. Overall, 10 countries. Okay, good. Then, and there is is there an exam in this year's admissions? Either yes. Like, is there an exam? Again, I'm not sure if there is an exam this year.
Maybe we can talk about the last
Last
year.
year,
I think
yeah.
I believe it's going to be the same. So there was an exam which was actually really fun for me. It was about like general knowledge, about logic, about the maybe the whole understanding or reading about graphs, and but more or less it's not based on the exam itself. It's based on the interview, which is with a person that is responsible for admitting the person, and it takes about an hour, and you just simply talk, which was really nice.
Just like leave, the admission process is also a work in progress, so it changes from year to year to better suit the needs. So there might be, maybe not, but I guess probably as it was
Yes.
added last year.
Yeah, like I can just say that I was doing the interviews with students, and I find it that this is like how we are trying to dig deeper. Like we don't need your, like we will ask for your grades, is like to better understand what, like how you worked in your previous school. But like the most important is like it's you, like what are your grades about? If you would see my certificate, you will be very scared. And look, where am I? And that means that when you do an interview and a deep interview, you can understand what are you thinking about, what is your life about, like how you think about the world, about your friends. And I find it like the first moment when we get to know each other, it's also very important. Like, yeah. Then interview. Don't be scared about the interview. I think we're nice people. Were you scared?
No.
Were you scared?
At first I was, but when I got into the interview, it was a really nice conversation.
It's just like we just
so-
talk. Yeah. Then don't be scared. And also about the test, also don't be scared about the test. Like as I said, we are mostly we are interested in your activities, in what are you as a person, what are your, what is your potential. And sometimes the test cannot show it to us. That it's not like the most important thing that we are looking for. We just have to use some kind of a metrics. Then it's a combination, but mostly I think it's based on the interview. Okay, then we just chill and just enjoy conversation with us. Good. Now, let's get to scholarships. Scholarships. Yeah, this is something that people really don't understand. Like, how is it possible?
But they don't really like to talk about it, to be honest.
But like the thing is, and as I said, we are interested in you as a person, not about how much money you have. And we are interested in making this country and this world better. Therefore, we have a huge fund for you to apply for a scholarship and to pay only as much as you can, actually. Then you will, first of all, we have a blind admissions. It means that we won't ask these questions like throughout the whole process. Only when you're accepted, we will go through like the discussion about how does the scholarship should look like. But the whole process is blind. We don't know. We select you according to your like potential, according to your your life, your who you are as a person. A beautiful people. Then how was the process? Like, how did you find the process? Like with scholarships?
I think it was really understandable, and it's absolutely manageable for the family because they ask you about the stuff, and they give you the scholarship really based on real information you give them. And the minimum is 400 per year, which is not much at all. And you have many things provided, and that's awesome.
Now you have to understand that you live with us. It means that we pay for accommodation, for food, for all the activities, for turn E, like for when you travel around the world. Yeah, like it's part of it, or also for the like fees for the competitions, for different. I think that some of our students were at Harvard lately.
Yeah, to the Harvard MUN.
Yes, and MUN. Like it seems that, good.
Yeah.
Something else about the scholarships?
Well, the scholarships. Well, I was honestly quite surprised how high it was. I didn't expect to be as high as. Okay, didn't think that the limit would be as high as it is. So that was a pleasant surprise.
And just ask again our admissions officers to give you more information about how the scholarship should look like. But they believe that it should happen after the admissions process. But please do not be afraid about it. It's not something that you should not apply because of that.
And it's real actually, because it seems that like 21,000, that's huge amount of money and people actually pay it for you, and you just
It's real. Like it works.
yeah, it does.
No. Then yeah, just ask us, okay? Anytime. Okay, I'm not sure. Like this is it. I just have to. I'll just take a look. That is. Okay, Patrick. Do you feel like the students of LEAF have trouble adapting to the real world after graduation, since they are used to getting special attention? Very good question. Smart one. Okay, what do you think?
That's my ex-classmate. Hi. It's absolutely not true. We're not like Jen said. I would say that this is a real world as well. And when we go after the high school or even outside, like people do not even recognize, or I mean, the school is just as high school, normal high school with normal people, with normal teachers and everything. It's not something that would be just super special and you wouldn't be able to adapt because
I think that the education should look like that. It's that we are not used to and sorry, I will be very honest in here. Like the thing that we are not used to in this kind of an education doesn't mean it's good for us. It's special. It's normal. Like this is how it should look like. Like it should have like this kind of vibe, and it works in actually all around the world now. You have these kind of schools, and yeah.
I totally agree with you, Hanka, that I don't think there should be any trouble with adapting to the world, because like you're not leaving this world, you're still here and you experience everything experienced before. Just the only difference is that you get, let's say, better education or education better suited to your needs. So there shouldn't really be any problem.
I'm not thinking about it. Okay, like let's find what can be a problem. Like because there can be a problem when you come out of the Beef Academy. It's like the truth is, okay? The truth is that like we are all friends. We help each other. We like do the stuff that maybe the other schools do not. But we have to be aware of that. You cannot be like closed in the golden cage or in the ivory tower, or what is the collocation or something like that. But we cannot be closed, and we have to do as much like to be connected like to other schools, to other people, to like NGO world and so on. Do you feel like that? Is it enough, or we still have to do something about it?
I would say like with the amount of opportunities we have, it's really easy to just like the outer world is there still. So I don't see a huge problem in that.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Honestly, in my case, I would see the opposite happening, because I got a, let's say, more global perspective or a bigger perspective that would actually help me and not give me more trouble. So I think it depends, but in general, I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, maybe it's just like how we sometimes, maybe like people perceive us, maybe, but feel free to come to see it. If you really or have any kind of a concern, our doors are open. Maybe not like to the room and so on, but when you want to come to the academy, just come and see it. We will have an open days, we will have info meetings, or anytime, just stop by and maybe you will see how it works in reality. And don't be afraid, okay? Because sometimes it's your bias, not ours, no?
I mean, also it can seem really unreal for me. Also, when I was there, it felt like super fancy and too good to be true. But when I came even for the info meeting and to the open day, I could actually see that how it works, and that's actually a real thing, and the school is just in a good place. So when I applied and I got accepted, it was actually like a real experience, which now, I mean,
yeah, which yes. Okay, let's not go too deep into that. This was a little bit philosophical, maybe too like deep. I cannot see more questions. Maybe I'm just blind, but hopefully there will be more questions coming. Then just ask anything that is on your mind. Okay, I just have to remind it all the time. Then please shoot us the question. Then the last topic that we have today is a community, because like community is something that I found as, I call it like there's a juju in the school, the word juju, probably not because it's made up word by me, or maybe it exists. No, it's not. But there is a certain juju in the school, because when you come inside and you see like when you talk about with the teachers and there are high fives and hugs all around, like there is something special about it. And I think like this is something that works, and it's the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I totally agree. I feel the same, and I think for me it has.
You always agree.
Well, only with you.
Yeah.
No, but it has, at least for me, like two main parts. One is that since we live at the residence together and also go to school each day together, we spend a lot of time together, and therefore we, let's say, have more deeper relationships or get to know each other better in a shorter amount of time because we spend so much time together. And also there's experientials and other activities in which you just go not just a regular school day, but for example, go to a hike to the high Tatras or other activities that just make you guys closer and closer. And the second part is that I think the admissions team does its job very well and chooses the right people.
And also what's a advantage is that there's only 80 of us, so you can feel the relationship, or like basically I would say that I talk to every single person in the school, and it's not it doesn't feel separate, so we're just a whole school together.
Mm-hmm. And also, although building diversity is a cliche, it really is true in this case that LEAP doesn't just go for the people with straight A's or only the people who did something in business, but really tries to get a diverse group of people so that there's also diversity when it comes to what people have like for interests, for hobbies, what like they like to do. So everyone can find someone to bond with or have as a friend. So that's a nice thing that there are many different people.
Aww. What about like, you know what, like to be honest, like for me, I have never been to boarding school. You know, I have never lived in this kind of a community. Can you say something more about the boarding? Like, how does your day look like? Maybe that's a better question. How does your day look like as a boarder at Leaf Academy?
So we start the school at 8:30 mostly. Then we have the classes, usually one or two. Then we have the lunch break. Then we have the classes also after till 3:30 mostly. And after you have a time for your activities, I'm attending a few clubs or so I'm part of the film/drama club, which now we're filming some stuff. We're working on some projects. We do scripts. And also I'm attending debate time to time. I went to a competition as well, or I'm attending visual image.
Oh, stop. And sometimes come down, you're 16.
Yeah. And then you have a free time if you make yourself a free time. Then it's dinner, and after we have 2 hours of studying, which you should be in your room, and basically just focus on the stuff you need to do, on your assignments, on your growth. You can read, you can learn whatever you feel like, and after we have free time as well. So
and you have whole meetings, if I know right?
Yeah, so once per week, which is just like a whole gathering of a whole eating together, singing together, just talking, and it's very
because like in the dorms, you have like different halls. We call it the halls, and you're part of the hall. Like there's Proud, we call it Proud, and Gentlemen, Gacho, or something. and it's part of your identity, you know. Like it's one part of your identity, and sometimes you meet together, and this is something nice. Good. And you have like one hall master. This is also very interesting to say.
We have one hall master per hall, which is kind of the dad or mom of the hall who takes care of the whole hall, makes the whole meetings, makes sure that people go to sleep. Sometimes people eat enough so they don't die, and etc. So he's kind of the dad or the parent of the hall and makes sure everything is okay.
Also, like the advisors. Maybe we can mention them. So in the class, we have a few groups of students, which have like two parents, a mom and dad. Yes. And they are there to take care of you as well, to deal with your activities outside of the school, and to just help you and to make sure that you're healthy mentally and physically.
How often do you like meet with your advisors, and what is like I know like what is the role of the advisor? Just meetings, or are they helping also with something else? Can you give me an example?
Okay, so first, how often we meet each other is, well, we have Thursday lunches, which we have, so every Thursday we go to lunch together as a family, so a couple students and the two parents of the family. And then also depends on the family whether it wants to or not, but we also sometimes organize other events that we go to one of the parent house and cook something or go to the Christmas market. So really depends on the family how much time they want to spend together, but so that's how depends, of course. And then what the advisor does for you is that, well, on one hand, you spend some time together, which is nice, and they can help you if you want some help. And also, for sure.
Help!
And also, for example, we have reports that come each term, and when you get the reports, you talk about them with your advisors, or when you have some other things to talk about, you go to them and have conversations about you, and well, let's say you set some long-term goals or short-term goals and think about your growth. So they, similar to your actual parents, they make sure that everything is going all right and that you're progressing in some manner that is
when you're not yet, then
Yeah.
we talk about because interesting about our reports is that like we don't have like rates like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and according to that you're good or bad, but we have narratives. It means like our advisors write down the report,
Mhm.
which like combines like different feedback from different teachers, and they just have to write it down, which takes a lot of time. I praise them. They have to do it, and yeah, and then you have like more complex like feedback on your
Teachers do that as well for the specific subject. So you have some topics you need to cover, then you have an overall rating, and then a specific commentary based on what you did, specific examples from the exams, what you can improve, and it's what it did to me. It was that I wasn't sad that I didn't got the best mark, or not mark, the best comment, but I was actually motivated to improve after. And that's really nice, and the people actually spend much time on it, so it's worth it.
I think it's super beneficial in two ways, at least for me personally. And one is that you don't just get a number, so you actually get commentary, what you did good, what you did wrong, so what you should work on, so that helps your learning. But also another factor is that you're not just learning for a specific test, like, oh, tomorrow we have tests, so I learn in the morning and then forget it, but it actually incentivizes long-term learning, so you actually learn better. So
you learn to understand,
Yeah.
not to write the test.
which is skill for the future. Yeah. Okay, now I have very important question for you, which is, and think about it a little bit. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking there for you and you.
Yes.
And the one is that, like, it seems like, yeah, like academy is heaven, everything works, but I know that it's not like that, because as I said, we are just running, okay, just creating the stuff. And maybe to the end, like, what is something that you would definitely change about the academy? And maybe think about it. Take your time. Okay. We don't have so much time.
You're gonna start.
You can go on. Just give me a second. I'm just choosing.
Yes, this is how you do sales. You see? Okay, one thing. 3, 2, 1. What was one thing that comes to your mind as the first one? Honest questions, honest answers.
No, I'll get something. Just give me a sec.
He has too many. Or
This is an awkward moment, like this is what you do the first time in the webinar. Maybe what will happen, but
no, sometimes it feels like that we don't have much of free time because we like to do many things at the same time, and it can be beneficial. It can sometimes be really exhausting, but that's also our fault as well. But maybe Leaf could contribute to that even more with giving us less homework or less stuff to do.
no, less homework, no. No, like, yeah, we should do something about it, and definitely we should do something about it also because of ourselves. Like, we are always like running somewhere, like as a organization.
But it's really dependent on how you deal with it. So it's not only about the teachers, but your time management, which also Leaf tries to teach issue on that. So that's
Good. What about you, Sanka? Now you go. Your time.
Okay, so one thing that I personally think that I'm not think the biggest issue, just something that came to my mind is that since we have different teachers who they behave in different manners, it sometimes happens that when you have advisors, then and you have, let's say, more lenient or less lenient advisors, there are some discrepancies, and they that's something that we should work on. But that's already something that has been brought forward, and we're trying to make it so that all the procedures are same for everyone, so it's less subjective. And that's the problem with thinking of a problem at least, is that although I might have some ideas that, okay, this isn't perfect, but it always happens that when there is a problem, students come forward and say, well, this isn't good, this is bad, this should be changed. And something that when we engage in a conversation and see what we can do about it. So like I remember from last year, there were many problems, let's say, with we had a check-in checkout tool that whenever you went out of residence, you were supposed to check out so that they know where you are. But that has been scrapped and no longer used. So that's the thing that are having many problems, but they've been removed. But of course, they're still, it's a work in progress.
Why I find very important to ask this question is that one of our values is like ethics, and one of it's honesty. And I believe that we should be also honest about how we operate as a leaf, and you should be prepared for that, and you should make this informed decision. But even though we have some like faults, how do you say that? And we try to be better all the time and hope that we won't like die on the way, and we don't want to die on the way. But like I hope we will get to the point where we'll really like change like education, or will change like the way we live. And then this is why I leave. Why I love Leaf so much, and why I can work there, because I can see like that it's always going forward. Then our time is almost over. We can we'll do next one, next webinar probably. I don't know, according to your feedback. Like for example, if you like the feedback, if you like it, just tell us why. If you don't like it, also tell us why. We need like this feedback to build this feedback culture. Then then just let us know, and next time we.
Okay, I have a problem.
Very good question, Hannah. I'm very proud of myself. Marketing team will be also very proud of me.
Although we put feedback at the front and we ask for it a lot of times, I think there are still some instances, for example, let's say community-wide questions or feedbacks that could be distributed more often, so that we get more feedback also from, let's say, the leaf culture, the whole culture. So I think there are still areas in which we could feedback more.
Yeah.
You know what? Like compared to normal public schools, I was giving feedback like every student. We were just like instantly giving feedback for the teachers on the classes, on assemblies, or the overall feeling, the specific trips. And it feels nice because after the people can really see what they need to improve, and actually it gets improved.
We should be giving you more feedback. Oh, maybe. Okay, I'll think about it. Okay, then please leave us a feedback, okay? As it's one of our core things that we have to change. You have to start it. Just kidding. Then just leave us a feedback. Tell us how it was. Also tell us where are you from, what are you doing, if you would like to apply or not, and we will try to help you with the process, or our admissions officers will definitely help you with the process itself. And also, if you're more interested, like in Leaf Academy, the best is to like meet us in person. You can either do it on info meetings that we have mostly in Slovakia. Yeah, where do we have it? We have one in Košice.
I think the other one is in Poprad, right?
Another one is in Poprad, and we have it written here. Honestly, you see.
And then there's the open day on the 24th of February.
Yes, and the deadline for applications 7th of March. Then sit down, start to write down your application, and give yourself time to write it down. Okay, please don't leave it. Yes. Am I right?
Yeah. I spent a lot of time working on the application, and it was worth it. So
I sent mine on the last day.
Yeah. That
I mean, me too. But there was the process.
but this is it. Process is important, not
Yes.
the final step. Process
Okay.
important. Then take your time, okay? Write it down, ask like your friends to help you out with that, give it for the feedbacking and so on. Just do not forget 7th of March is deadline. All of this information you can find on our webpage, on our Facebook, Insta, and that's it. Yes.
Even like feel free to find some students and contact them as well. We're very helpful.
For
And
example, us.
yes, and we would love to help you.
Like,
So
to make a decision. Then what else? Is there any questions? Oh my god, I can see it. But good. No, there are no more questions.
If
I
you don't
believe.
have questions, I have another problem.
Oh, okay. Tell me. We have like 5 more minutes, I believe, or 3 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay, and then we will dance. Okay, I have a problem. I have to dance.
Okay. So as we've said many times, it's a work in progress, which on the one hand means that we partake in the creation of many, let's say, mechanics of the whole structure of the leaf, which is nice since we have a say in what happens. On the other hand, it also means that since not everything is created yet, some of the things are created for the first time when new situations happen, it means that not everything will be perfect and that we really need to work through all the issues. So like that's something that sometimes bothers me, that since it's a really new school and some situations are super new, it's just sometimes difficult to find the right approach.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you have to go through it. But you look like you're fine. Yeah, you will be fine.
he
Okay.
really looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I have my nothing is telling me, but
There
there
was
is
a
one more
question
question.
about food, right?
Yeah.
Which is a really nice part of the whole leave experience.
Yeah.
Okay, just I cannot find the question. Then just tell me about the food.
So for breakfast, we can choose whatever we feel like. We
Yeah.
have many options. For
So that's
lunch, we can go to anywhere we want
Mhm.
to, and dinners are usually in the hotel we live in or the hotel nearby.
Mhm.
And then we have second dinner as well.
Yeah.
And then you have snacks.
Yes.
Oh yes.
True.
Then you have the
Sorry.
best snacks ever. Like I have so much free food in my life. No, because like
There's no free food.
no.
Somebody has to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm paid for it. Okay, but there is like I think that this is a nice example of how things get changed.
Mhm.
Because last year it was a disaster with food. It's very complicated,
Yeah.
like, and it was not very tasty.
Mhm.
It was super healthy, but not very tasty.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, healthy. But students gave us a feedback, and our like Zuzka, two Zuzkas worked pretty hard and lab to find like new providers
Yeah.
and find the best way how to give you the food. It's healthy and it's tasty. And I think that you were also giving the feedback on each like food served like as a
Yeah.
snack.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice that we, at the beginning, we had more distributors of food or snacks, and we tried out more of them. And then once we went through all of them, we just picked the one we liked the most. So that's nice.
There's also one question that the person is interested in leave and it's currently in the first grade in high school, and he's asking if he needs to apply for the 4-year program or the second year, the 2-year program. So
It depends. I think that the best will be to contact the admissions office for this question, especially because it's quite like you can either like skip the class, skip the grade, or get back the grade. But the best will be just on individual based contact admissions. Okay.
maybe what I would recommend you is that it's really nice to experience the whole 4 year. And we have many classmates that were already in the first year of high schools. They do not regret the decision. But if you want to go forward, feel free to go even to the 2-year program. But it will be very intense from the beginning, so be mindful of that as well.
Mhm.
Okay. The best we can dance, but maybe the last question I have now is the last. What is the best moment at Leap Academy? What was the best moment for you?
Mm.
The atmosphere, when I came and still now, it doesn't feel as cool all the time. It feels like something that I really like to go back every time. So it's not like on the Sunday I'm just crying in the train, oh my god, I need to go there. but it's actually something I look forward to because it's experiential. It's something different, what I was searching for a long time. And when I was even at the info meeting, it was something that got my attention, and I was convinced that this is something I really need to go to, and I do not regret it.
I feel the same, but if I were to pick one moment, it's probably last week because I turned 18, and we have a very nice tradition at our hall that when someone has his birthday, around midnight or an hour before midnight, everyone comes into your room, picks you up, and throws you into a nice tub full of water, and then you get some gifts, some food, and there's a small celebration. That was nice because okay, the water wasn't that nice, but
Refreshing.
They're refreshing, definitely. But it's nice that we got together as a community, or as our whole as a community, and we just paid attention to each other. We throw each other into a tub and we just commemorate something.
The whole residential life is awesome, like in itself. Because, like, for example, 2 days before we were painting the halls. Even like a month before we were doing pancakes together. We were watching movies together. And it just feels nice to do stuff that you wouldn't usually do at normal public schools.
Good. We have to close the session. Then we'll test it. Then thank you very much for all your questions and that you turned this on and you had to listen to us for 1 hour, or you were very happy to listen to us. I'm sorry. And if there are questions that we haven't had time to answer, there will be our admissions office answering all your questions that you put into the comments. Then don't be worried, they know the best actually. And yeah, and thank you very much. And now thank you very much, Dance. Yeah. Thank you. Have a nice night.